Hello everyone, I'm back. Welcome back to another live stream. Hope all is going well with you. My screen is so dusty. Give me a couple more seconds. So in today's practice, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be talking about self-reflection and really trying to figure out what we as artists want to do given the skills that we have, right? And I'm going to be doing that while doing just a quick gesture drawing practice. Just in the meantime, because it's March. I can't believe we're in the third month of the year already. Where does the time go? Time goes very, very quickly. And yeah, so while that time is coming and going, we have to just keep in mind that not to forget the whole reason as to why we are learning certain things, because sometimes we get kind of we get distracted with doing the practices and the learning and things like that. And the last thing that we want to do is try to be so fixated on that alone, and then we neglect everything else, right, in terms of what we actually wanted to do in the first place. So that's all I basically wanted to discuss today. And just trying to loosen up a bit. I admit I am a tad stiff, but it's okay. It happens, you know. Sometimes we just are unable to practice our craft as much as we would like to. For instance, last week I was very busy, just with doing client work and everything like that, so I just wasn't able to put in that time to do personal things, personal art, just like right now. Yeah, just wasn't able to, but everything worked out. Everything worked out as well. Everything worked out well, at least in my opinion. These dynamic poses. I just want something simple. Just want something simple today. As you can see, just regular poses, you know. It's fine. I want some of them with the stick or like with a sword, but fine, I'll do that too. Always when it comes to these types of poses, I always think go in 3D first, because I just see it clearer at that point. That way I know that it's like a curve. He has a broken leg. It's a weird angle, but okay. I think I'm loose enough. I hope. Okay, so last week, well, not last week, the week before, so I guess I should explain that the week before, was it last week or was it the week before? I can't even remember. When did I do my last live stream? Yeah, so it was the week before. Okay, because it was 11 days. So the week before, I did this piece. This was a study piece based on a reference. I was really paying attention to the values, right? Because I thought that my understanding of values needed to be sharper, right? So hence why I did this study, right? So it all comes into play when you know, as you proceed in your artistic learning capabilities, you will figure out some things about yourself, and then you will see that, you know, certain things that you lack in, certain things that you need to touch up on, etc. All this is to say that it's leading you down a path to doing something that you would like to see yourself doing in the future, right? Now, I understand based on the stats of my live streams that those of you that pass by and watch my live streams are in school students. So, which is good because I always encourage students to really think about what they would like to do while having this skill, right? So I teach. Well, I taught 2 years ago. I was teaching preteens at the time, and I was really getting them to understand and teaching them the value in what they're doing, and how I was really trying to get them to understand the fundamentals, as well as try to explain to them the importance of being needed, I guess, because when it comes down to it, everybody needs some sort of visual to present something, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be about entertainment part of it, right? When it comes to being an artist, you could shine your light in every aspect, right? Every company needs some sort of visual to present whatever product or service that they are offering, right? So I sent out an email list to um, my my to my email list subscribers, right? And it's on my description if you are interested, because I sent out emails at least once or twice a month, and today's email is about starting to do what we say we're going to do, right? Which is the title of this live stream. So I asked I asked 3 questions that you should ask yourself about being an artist, right? And let me see if I could write it down on here clearly. So 3 questions. As an artist, right, will this interest in drawing stay as a hobby, or would I want to start getting paid? That's the first question. So I'll dumb that down. Hobby or paid, right? So we really want to start thinking about, with the skill set I have, will I just want it to be something that I do for fun, right? Something I do on the side, something that that I do just to pass the time, and something like playing video games, right? People play video games as a hobby, right? And it's just something that they do to pass the time, but they don't necessarily get paid for it, right? So that's also another thing that you could think about. Or would you like to see yourself getting paid for the artwork that you do, right? Because when it comes down to it, you have to be skilled. You have to be good at whichever area that you would like to be in, right? And you have to understand the difference between those two, right? Hobby or paid. So that's a question that you should ask yourself, as you continue to learn and grow as an artist, right? So question number 2 that you should think about is, do I see myself going into the art industry or going independent, right? So I'll write that down. Industry or independent. So that's the second question to ask yourself. Now, this one is a big one because the industry right now, how should I put it? It is, oh gosh, how did I phrase it the other day? It has a lot of complications, and the lack of jobs in that field. Well, not necessarily in the field, because when you're thinking about the art industry, it is so vast, right? But when people think about the art industry, immediately they think top corporate companies, right? Like Disney or Pixar or EA or another like top gaming company, or things along that nature, right? But they don't think about like smaller corporations, or they don't think about like companies that would love to utilize people with our skills, like us, and be able to promote their businesses, right? So this is kind of in the area where I fit in, right? Because yes, I am an artist. Yes, I am independent. Am I in the industry? I would say yes, but not in the industry that, not necessarily the animation industry. Now, God has blessed me with with almost 5 years experience working as a graphic designer in a television company, and I've learned a lot of new skills, new softwares regarding that. Um, does it necessarily match the animation that I wanted to get into? No. But does it pay bills? Yes. Right? Now that's the difference, right? So, that's kind of like a toss up for me, right? Because I'm in the industry, yes, but I'm also independent, right? So for me, I am freelance, right? That's kind of where I fit in, right? And at the moment, I am working as freelance graphic designer for, let's say, the food industry, well, at least companies that promote food, right? So at the moment, my clients are, part of the food industry, right? So they are the ones that need ads to advertise whatever food or new recipes or menu items that they would like to promote. They need an artist to therefore go ahead and promote that said product, right? And that's where I come in, right? And I'm fully on my own, right? But this is the thing where I thank God that I have some connections and I'm able to maintain some sort of workflow. And always have work to do, right? Even though it's not like, massive projects, but it's a project nonetheless, and I still get paid for it, right? So there's always room for artists, not necessarily in the entertainment industry, but there's definitely room in other industries, right? And at this moment in time, everyone's saying that, oh, the industry is slow and it's this and it's that and there's no jobs. You're not looking far enough, right? Because there's always someone looking for someone with your skill set. Not necessarily to do the next groundbreaking movie, but it's required for people to find people like us to promote whatever service that they're doing, right? And some of those services might be, have more of a far better impact locally, right? Than coming up with a film or a movie or a video game that barely anybody will know about, right? So lots of things to think about when it comes to that, right? And like I said, being independent means that you have to be able to be self-earning. And one thing about being independent is that you gotta be responsible for your taxes. That's a huge one. You gotta be responsible for maintaining a budget, right? You have to pay attention to how much money you're spending on software, right? And all of this I already do as a freelancer, right? So when it comes to these three things, especially this one, I have to be very, very careful, right? So that's just something brief that I wanted to share, because I don't feel like if there's much people talking about it. But then even still, the people talking about this stuff, they're always never in the same country I am in, and things are very much different in Canada than it is in the States or in the UK or in Australia, right? Especially right now. Okay, question number 3. As an artist, do you want to pay attention more on the different areas of art, or are you an all-round person, right? So as an artist, I don't do everything, right? I do certain things, right? For instance, I don't do painting, right? I don't teach painting, even though that's a need that I see people wanting to learn. And then they always ask me, and I have to tell them, no, I couldn't tell you how to mix your colors in a paint with a paintbrush and getting a certain I don't know any of that stuff, right? I do painting I go to other people and I paint for fun, right? I don't do that. And then there's also there is sculpting. That's also another thing that I do not do. So yeah, but everything else on the computer, right, I'm right there. So when it comes to your art skill, really think about if you want to go into think about which area in art you want to focus on. Painting, animation, right, which is what I went to school for. Maybe illustration, right? Like I said, sculpting, right? What else is there? There is 3D modeling, which is also something that I do. But yeah. And then there's also graphic design, which is also something that I do, right? I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I'm not too sure. But anyway, there are multiple other areas in art that you could dive into, like even music, right? I don't do music. I enjoy listening to music, but that's a whole different thing, right? So and then there's also jewelry making. I see people doing that too. Is that what it's called, jewelry making? I can't remember. Hold on. Is jewelry making? Is that, or is there a specific name for it? Okay, I guess that's what it's just called. Okay. Right? I see people doing that too, right? And then there's people that want to go into the book illustration industry. I mean, technically it is an industry. And then there's people that specialize in just book cover concept art, right? That's also another thing. Book concept art. I don't know. Like if you happen to meet a storyteller or someone who has a story and they're about to publish a book, they need an artist to draw a nice illustration or concept of their upcoming book, right? Now, I hope that for those of you who will be watching later on, will see that from these 3 questions, I hope you'll begin to realize that when it comes to finding work, right? So this is for like the paid option, right? Most of the people who will be willing to pay you for whatever art that you will make for them, they are people who are not artists themselves, right? That's something that has to be clear, right? Because yes, there's this thing on Instagram where artists support other artists. Yes and no, because the bulk of my clients, they are not artists, right? They see what they want in my work, and therefore that is why I get paid for it. That's why I get asked for it, right? For me personally, when I support another artist is if they are providing something of value that could add to my project, right? For instance, I will pay for Blender add-ons, right? If I want to have this specific texture painting brush, right, for my 3D modeling, which I have done in the past, and I found this really cool artist, and he made texture brushes for Blender, and I purchased his package, and I was able to use that, right, use his texture brushes to paint the Noah's Ark animation, like the project that I worked on a few years ago. So if you haven't seen the Noah's Ark animation that I did, please go look at it and like it and share it. Anyway, I used his texture brush pack and used that for my own project, right? So that's an example as to how I specifically would, as an artist, would, pay another artist if they have something that I need, right? That's the key role right there. Like, you have to find not necessarily clients, but find people who need you. Yeah, that's basically how I would phrase it, right? Because there's always somebody who needs an artist to do something that they can't do, right? So that's also another way to say it. Find people who can't do what you do, right? So lots of things to think about there when it comes to being an artist, right? Yeah. So with that said, let's get back to drawing. There's not necessarily much more I have to add to that, unless you have any questions. Again, everybody's experience is different. I thank God that He put me in the path that I am. It's not the easiest path, but it's a path nonetheless that I am confident in, and which is why I practice so much on my craft, right? Because not everybody can do what I do, right? Which is why you need to find those people, right? You need to find these people, or let them find you, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean to keep posting on social media all the time. Sometimes it's just word of mouth. Sometimes it's people that you run into. Sometimes it's people who, who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, and they put in a good word for you, and then before you know it, you're in contact with that person, right? And then you're a part of a whole project, right? Again, speaking from experience, and just be on the lookout, right? I see a lot of people getting very discouraged over the fact that there are no industry jobs anymore. While that may or may not be true, I understand it is much harder now than ever before to find jobs in the industry, which is why it is so important to figure out different paths to utilize your artistic skills, your artistic talents, to make sure that this comes to pass. And if it is that you're just doing all of this as a hobby, then by all means, have fun, right? Right? If it is that if it's just a hobby, right? This is your answer. If it is a hobby. But if it is that you see yourself wanting to get paid, then this is very, very important. Very, very important. And you have to think outside the box. Okay? Think outside the box. Okay. So that's my little rant. Well, not necessarily rant, but information dive. I hope you find that information helpful. So remember those 3 questions. Just ask yourself that and proceed as such, right? And it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 16, you could be 36, right? Just keep these questions in mind. It's very, very important, and it will help push you in the right direction in terms of what kind of artist you are and what you specialize in, right? So with that being said, so I loosened up. So I have another value session reference that I found again on Pinterest. Let me see if I could find it here. Yep, so this is it, right? Can't seem to be bothered bringing it in, so I just have it on my second screen here, and that is what I am using. So hopefully it will come up like this one. If not, oh boy. Okay. I'm using the same brush because why not? She has a very square face. She looks like an evil stepmother. Like Lady Tremaine. I wanted to push her, to push the style or have a bit more of a stylistic look, but this will do. Okay, have about a few more minutes left. I feel like if her nose, the bridge of her nose needs to be higher. I think. Oh yeah, definitely. Hold on. To find a different brush for the hair. If I could find something. Oops. That should do it. She looks very crazy. Let's try to fix that. Oops. Okay. Well, it seems like if that's all I'm gonna be able to do today, because I am out of time, I have to go. Definitely fixing it up at another time. Yep. But so far so good, I think. But yeah, that's definitely I would say a better grasp. Although I have a lot of work to do on the hair still, because I think that's the only thing that I didn't like about last time, the last live stream when I did this one. Yeah, definitely some more rendering to do. I want to fix her eyebrows. I wanted to push her eyebrows more, but as of this moment in time, it'll definitely have to be off camera. But yes, that's pretty much it. Once again, this is the reference that I used. So yep, so far so good. Oh, look at that, I'm getting critique. Hello, good day. The nose is a little crooked to the right, but it's nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see if I could fix that. I was just about to log off, but it's fine. Let's see if I could fix that nose. How's that? Is that better? Either way, I will fix it up at another time because we are an hour and 25 minutes. Oh gosh. Did you finish with the live stream? More or less. No, you don't have to do it for me. Oh, it's okay. I always take constructive criticism. It's fine. It should be parallel to the eye line a little more, but it's good. Ah, it's not diagonal. That's what you meant. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. I think it does. Let me fix up that a bit. Oops, wrong shade. Now it's better, yeah. So that right nostril is a little small. She's not gonna be a perfect human being, right? And not everybody's right nostril is small or the same size. There's gonna be imperfections. The key is to not to be so perfect, right? Because you know what makes their nostrils completely perfect? The AI system, right? So The key here for me is the value study, not necessarily the anatomy of the face. Although I come pretty close. Not gonna get it right every time, right? But the mere fact is that you could tell it's a face, all right? It's just a study. And yeah. So the main thing that's bugging me is her eyebrows. I want to push it a little bit more. But yeah, other than that, thank you. I hope I pronounced this right. Majkan, thank you so much for all of your comments. Like more dynamic and expressive. Yes, exactly. I wanted her to be a bit more stylized, more than, more realistic, right? But again, it's just a study. Yeah, so definitely fixing her eyebrows and the hair, and then who knows, I might see some more flaws to touch it up a bit and make it look better than before, kind of thing. And yeah, so that is that. All right, so yeah, so this is from the last live stream, and then this one is from today. I'll definitely show y'all the finished product on my post. They don't call it community anymore on YouTube. They call it posts. Don't know why they keep changing it. But yeah, thank you. I can send you an overpaint. Oh no, it's okay. It's not necessary. It's all right. This is just a practice. If you look at all of my other live streams over the past several years, you will see that there are many flaws in all those other ones. But the key is to keep pushing, right? Once I'm done this, I'm done with it. So it's quite okay. But thank you for commenting. And I will see everybody in the next live stream. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.